Hi, I'm Bart Urbison, Director of the Nashville Songwriters Association. And this week, the story behind the song with Nicole Gallion. Your co-writers are Jimmy Robbins and John Knight. Love this song, We Were Us.
Thank you.
But we're not going to talk about the song first, because I don't think we can talk about any song you ever wrote without talking about you.
Aw.
And it's a big compliment, because you're who you are, where you came from, I feel like it's in every song of yours I've ever heard.
It is.
Sterling, Kansas?
Yes. I tell people that I just try to write songs for people in my hometown, songs that they would like. And that's kind of my gauge, you know, if I'm in a writing appointment and we start saying something and I think, they're not going to relate to that, or they're not going to get that, or that won't make them feel anything, or that won't feel real to them, then it usually doesn't make it. That's kind of like my internal compass for writing.
But you know, I think that's brilliant. It's natural for you and organic, but I think it's brilliant in the sense that it has an effect up front that a lot of people wait till they play it out at the Bluebird or somewhere to see if it's real.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Well, you know, when I first started writing songs like 10, 11 years ago, you know, you write a lot of bad songs, and then every once in a while there'd be a song that wouldn't be bad. And I found that the thread between all those songs was that ingredient. It was real to the people that I grew up with. It was real to, you know, where I came from. And not every song that I write is about my hometown, but it's kind of for the people there, because I feel like that's who listens to the radio. You know, that's what I know to be true and real, so I just stick with that.
You're real.
Oh, thank you.
And a beautiful spirit.
Thank you.
And it shows up in the songs, and it shows up in a fun way, in a serious way, but personal is good. So, some people may remember you from The Voice.
Yeah.
And I read something about you that you went to Belmont.
Uh-huh.
We love Belmont.
Yes, we live Belmont.
But that you secretly wrote songs at Belmont.
I did. I had never written a song. When I came to Belmont, when I moved to Nashville, I had never written, I'd never really sung or anything, but I had this classical piano background. And so I was just obsessed with country music. I was obsessed with the Dixie Chicks, the whole thing, and I just wanted to be in the middle of it. And so I moved here with that objective, and I thought the only place for me was on the business side, like maybe managing an artist or working for a booking agent or something like that, because I was just so enamored with the mechanics of how the industry worked.
But a lot of people forget it's music business. Mm-hmm. And it has to help you, especially in this crazy digital era, mm-hmm. having the business mindset.
Yeah, I mean, I think I personally get excited about trying to figure out how can I be relevant in a constantly changing industry. Like, you look at it as a business and you go, what can I contribute that maybe the next person can't? And that's where you figure out where you belong. And I think that's how I figured out I was a songwriter, was because I was kind of I started writing songs because I became friends. Everybody in Nashville is a songwriter. Your plumber, your best friend, your cousin, they're all songwriters. So I was like, well, I'm going to try to write some songs. And then I figured out that what I had to offer as a songwriter was possibly more special than what I had to offer on the business side.
So it wasn't a secret anymore.
It wasn't a secret anymore.
Well, what's the story behind this song?
Well, I wrote this with Jimmy Robbins and John Knight, who are both like my peers. You know, I enjoy writing more with my peers than my heroes, kind of in a sense, because it's more fun to write a kind of song that's maybe never been written before, and with those guys, with your friends. And I showed up one day, one afternoon, and Jimmy and John and I had been told from a label that there was another artist that was possibly wanting to do a duet on their record. It was a young female. And so they were like, hey, you know, we need a girl. Will you come write a duet with us? We want to pitch it for this other project. So we wrote We Were Us. And
what was the idea? Where'd that idea come from?
Well, John and Jimmy, when I showed up, they had that that real wordy, rapid fire top of the chorus. They said, what do you think about this? And I was like, holy crap, that's so cool. I've met, like, just the meter and the whole thing about that was just, like, special to me. And it got my attention, so I was like, I've never heard that before, so when somebody else hears that, they're going to want to be a part of that. So the irony was that they had written with another artist that day. They had actually written with Thomas Rhett. I can say that because they've said that in interviews. They wrote with Thomas Rhett that morning and had thrown that idea out to him, and he didn't dig it. So they were like,
But whatever they wrote was probably number one anyway.
They
The
went
way
and wrote-
Thomas is going.
Yeah, no, yeah. They went and did something else that was magical that day, but they were like, he didn't really want to do this. Would you want to write this? And so we just took it from there.
Thank you, Thomas.
Yes, thank you. That was all fortuitous, but the verses, I give them full credit for that feel in that chorus because they had that before I came, and I think they even had the line "A song was a song I could sing along." But the verses were definitely more me. I just like a couple months before had my 10-year class reunion, and I think the whole time we never really
Boy,
discussed
15 is
it.
going to be pretty good. Isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I think in their mind they were thinking relationship. I was thinking more like an anthem for like the class, like the
Yeah.
kids I grew up with. You know, I was like, this takes, you know, you hear these songs, it takes you back to when we were us, when
Well,
we
it
were like
worked.
who we used to be.
It worked.
It did work, and so I'm just really thankful for that day.
Now, I don't know who the other artist was, but
Mm-hmm.
come on. You get a call, and I want to hear about the call. It's Keith Urban and Miranda Lambert. And
Mm-hmm.
Miranda that was her image makeover sort of song.
Mm-hmm.
She looks fantastic. And if I were Blake or Nicole, I would be so upset because there's some flirty going on in that video.
Man, they milked it, and that's, you know, that's why they're innovative artists, because
Yeah.
they keep your attention.
It's
you know?
believable.
You couldn't not watch them in the music video or on the CMAs because you're like, these people are married to other people, but dang, they act like they could have been high school
I
sweethearts.
know.
So that was really cool. And that, you know, we knew Keith was going to cut it. We found that out early in the year because actually Keith is a part of my co-writer Jimmy's
Right.
publishing, and so he had actually heard it before it ever got to the artist that we wrote it for. So it kind of like he was like, nope, nobody else gets that. That's mine. And he said, and I even think there was the conversation of, are you sure you want it? Because we kind of wrote it for somebody else, and he's like, guaranteed, I'm cutting this song. Which, you know, in this town, guarantee is not a guarantee.
Right.
But we, you know, so we were just elated to have a Keith Urban cut because that's such a highly esteemed project and everything. And so then several months go by and we hear like, hey, so I'm hearing from this person and this person saying that maybe he's going to make it a duet, but don't tell anybody. You know, so you want to be excited, but you're like, we don't know if it's going to happen and who it's going to be. And, you know, as a female writer, there isn't a better cut, in my opinion, than Miranda Lambert.
Yeah.
So that being on top of the key thing was like, okay, I can die now. Game over.
I think it's the most fun either one of them have had in a long time, and I even love the little guitar
Yeah.
lick they do, but when they get on the single mic. So
Yeah, it's really special.
congratulations, and I know
Thank
there's
you.
many more that are going to come. Nicole Gallion, the story behind the song this week for the Nashville Tennessean.
Baby, low beam lights. God, I miss when you were mine back when that song was a song I could sing along without thinking about you every time it came on. Every beat, every line, every word, every time